Ghana's central bank has cut its main interest rate by 200 basis points to 27%. That's the first rate slash since January as inflation continues to fall while economic recovery improves. The Bank of Ghana Governor, Ernest Addison, disclosed this at a news conference. Here is a short excerpt.
Headline inflation since the first quarter has declined for the fifth consecutive month by 5.4 percentage points. Core inflation has also declined sharply over the same comparative period by 6.9 percentage points. These trends suggest that the disinflation process is on course. The latest forecast showed that the inflation will continue to ease towards the range target of 13 to 17% for the year and steadily track back towards the medium-term target of 6 to 10% by the end of 2025, bearing unanticipated shocks. At the current juncture, the committee judged the risk to inflation outlook as fairly balanced. Given these considerations, the committee decided to lower the monetary policy rate by 200 basis points to 27%.
Now, Ghana has introduced a new gold coin to increase domestic savings and aid in managing money market liquidity. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Ernest Addison, told reporters in Accra, the country's capital, that the coin, which was manufactured from gold mined in Africa's largest producer of the metal, had been processed to 99.99% purity. According to the governor, the coin is available in 3 different sizes, 1, half, and quarter ounce, and is insured and issued by the central bank. Winston Tackie, an analyst and business journalist in Ghana, has joined me now for further discussion on this. So good morning to you in Accra.
Good morning. It's good to join you this morning.
Akwaba. So, what did you make of the decision of the MPC last week? Talk to me.
All right. It's great to, first of all, good morning to all your viewers. The Bank of Ghana's Monetary Policy Committee decided to reduce the policy rate by 27%. At its 120th meeting. This decision reflects the central bank's confidence in the ongoing reduction of inflationary pressures and also the aims to support economic growth by making borrowing cheaper for businesses and consumers. It is the first downward review actually in several months and is going to bring some relief to cost of borrowing, especially for commercial banks and some financial investment portfolios. It's been quite overdue because banks have been calling for reduction in the policy rate. The cost of borrowing has been a key issue for businesses and trade unions in the country, considering the challenges in ensuring that businesses in the domestic market have access to cheap capital and cheap loans to finance the operations. And it's been a very challenging time considering the high cost of manufacturing and cost of operation in the business environment in Ghana. It appeared it's a realistic challenge that businesses confront, and some have been forced to send their investment out of the country, especially Cote d'Ivoire and most of the French-speaking countries. But government have seen the need to review it downward, looking at the current successes that the inflationary figures have chalked so far.
Interesting when you look at inflation deceleration. What's driving this downward trend in inflation? What's the trajectory in the near future according to the central bank? What's the outlook in terms of the range that the Bank of Ghana is looking at? And what's the reality of inflation on the ground in Ghana today? Yeah, I guess we lost
the rate of increase.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Winston.
Okay. Although we have experienced the rate of inflation or rate of prices reducing, the price of commodities have remained stable. People are seeing the numbers going down, but when you go to the market, the price remains stable. However, the several factors have contributed to the current inflation that we are seeing, and one has to do with the Bank of Ghana's maintenance of the monetary policy stance, which they say consistently maintained at 29% for over 11 months period until it was reviewed downward just last week. So the call to sustain the policy rate is one of the key factors that has led to the downward trajectory of the inflationary figure. Another factor that has improved the successes of an inflationary outtake is the improved supply chains. what happened during the COVID time where we have supply chain disruptions, which have eased so far, reducing the cost of imported goods. However, there has been calls to reduce the over 24 taxes imposed on imported goods while addressing the inflation on the imported products. So it appears that inflation on the domestic market has been marginal in the midst of high cost of production, including the rise of tariff on electricity and water, which are quite indispensable in the overall production and manufacturing value chain in the domestic market.
Very interesting. A lot of work being done there by the central bank and others. Talk to me about the next monetary policy expectations, the final lap for the year. What's your outlook on that?
So the current markets, especially the domestic market, the market anticipates that the Bank of Ghana will still maintain the policy rate at 27%, considering the recent rate downward cut by the U.S. reserves. And in the near term, the current inflation trends and economic conditions seems to be quite favorable for the government and also the financial markets. This approach aims to balance the need for economic growth with the goal of maintaining price stability. So the government is looking at ensuring that the prices are stable in the domestic market amidst the current exchange rate challenges, where we've seen the current stability of the Ghana cedi against major foreign currency. There's a conversation to ensure that the IMF money, the debt restructuring, all the various policies government has engaged will help decelerate the inflationary figures, considering the current figure that has been released by the central bank, which is 27%. The government is also hoping that the fiscal measures will help mitigate the burden on debt repayment and all the expected policies that the international markets are looking forward to that will be critical to ensuring investment flow into the country in the coming year or possibly in the last quarter of the 2024.
So the Bank of Ghana is launched gold coins and all of that. So is Ghana heading the way of Zimbabwe, in a manner of speaking, with a Z currency, or this is just something else to out of the heart of the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana to say, look, we want to give Ghanaians an investment option. We want them to invest in gold. We want to hold the assets of the country, create some wealth. Tell me, what's the idea behind this flotation?
The timing of this policy, some would say, in the financial market seems to be good. However, there is interesting conversation which is kind of overshadowing this whole initiative by the central bank. That is the call to end galamsey, where illegal mining operations are missed, and this has accelerated astronomically because of government's gold for oil policy, which introduced in 2017. The aim is to ensure that the government's forest reserves or gold deposits are exchanged for oil, and also ensure that we have enormous reserve in gold in the central bank. And another aspect has to do with using gold to engage in several transactions. And this policy, especially the introduction of the gold coin, is part of the central bank's policy under the gold for oil policy. So the launch of the gold coin by the Bank of Ghana is a strategic move to provide alternative investment options.
We've seen Tackie, a business journalist and analyst in Accra, Ghana. We've seen, if you can still hear me, sorry, we got a bit of a tech hitch there a little bit. So you talk about the gold coin. Yes, so this is the gold coin. What other investment options should people look out for, by the way, within the market space there, where you are?
Okay. As I touch on the other investment policy, this key gold policy is believed to reduce the pressure on the dollar. Currently, many individuals are buying the foreign currency dollar because they see it as a safe haven to preserve value of the currency. But other investment in the market is stocks and bonds. Investing in equities and fixed income securities can provide also income opportunities for individuals. But after the gold for domestic debt exchange program that happened, people have quite reluctant to invest in such outtake. Another investment that is providing some returns and capital appreciation is the real estate sector. People are now, wherever you pass in Accra, in most of the regions, you're seeing high-rise buildings. key investment opportunities there. There's mutual funds and ETFs. These pooled investment vehicles offer diversification and also professional management. Another thing that the government is now considering is the opportunities available in the cryptocurrency arena. Because of the digital currency, government it was supposed to launch it in December this year, but it says that they have to assess the market and see the potential and opportunities before they launch the ECD, which is a digital currency, which they believe will be built on the blockchain technology because of the high volatility in terms of the hard currency.
Interesting. Give me an outlook on the economy and the markets for the rest of the year, as well as the equity market in terms of the GDP recovery that we're seeing, about 6.9%. I guess that was the last figure for the second quarter ended June. So put all of this together for me. What does that look like for investors for the rest of 2024 as we start counting down the final 90 days of the year? Winston.
Okay, Ghana's investment market has shown very strong resilience, especially the equity market, supported by the improvement in the recent gross domestic product, which showed that the economy has been in accelerated growth rate, key driven by the mining and quarry sector because of the increment in gold production. We've seen gold assets increasing astronomically as against the cocoa and many other sectors. The services sector has seen increased growth as well. The reduction in inflation have also boosted investor confidence, leading to increased market activity and higher valuation of listed companies on the stock market. There's been also accelerated investment in the stock market. Key has been introduction of a gold invested product on the stock market, and this has gained traction, especially in the US stock market and also the South African stock market. And this is giving investors a diversified look of how they can preserve their value and the investment coming into the economy to ensure that in the last quarter of this year, the economy will experience the needed trademark as amidst the heightened post-election expenditure and all.
Look, Winston, whatever you guys are doing right over there in Ghana, keep doing it. Thank you so much. It's nice seeing you here this Monday morning. A great start to the new week.